Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's time to go over the Tokushu Heiki Assemble event, or the Build-A-Bear event, or the Crafting event, no matter how you want to put it. Now, these events are usually some of the most grueling, because it is harder to get the vehicles, but this time they've made it slightly easier, or maybe not slightly easier, but they've at least given you more time to be able to get more boxes. Now you can actually get 2 of the major prizes instead of only 1 of the minors, or the minor prize and then 1 major prize. Now you can actually get 6 of the test reports, as they call them, and each of the top prizes costs 3. So overall you can get 2 top prizes instead of 1, which is what it was previously. In this video, we'll go through how these events work and how everything is set up. Obviously, it is quite confusing as it goes along, and they keep adding more and more parts to these events, but the basic thing is this. If you play the game at a certain level, you grind mission score. At certain levels of mission score, you get crates, you open the crates, and then use them to put other stuff together. There is a few other rules when it comes to this event. We'll go through them all in this video just to help you out. Don't worry, it's not too confusing. At the end of the day, what it is play the game and click the stuff in the workshop. That's all you gotta do. First things first, we'll do a recap of the vehicles. Just to let you know, I have done individual videos looking at each of the vehicles if you want to personally have a bit more in-depth look. But first of all, we have the Key 48 to Otsu. This is costing 1 test report, so technically you can make 6 of these if you wanted to, but this is the only premium vehicle out of the event. It is a coupon, so you can sell it later on, and the interesting thing about this Key 48 is not that it is just a bomber for Japan. It gets access to the Key 148 missile, which is a M-close missile from World War II. Should do quite a lot of damage, and at 2-3, which is its current BR, it can definitely do a lot to overpressure targets because it has a big warhead on it, and it's a heat one, so therefore it'll pen quite a lot. The next vehicle is the IGN Kurama. It's a rank 5 battlecruiser for the Japanese. It's at 6.0, and that kind of hurts it. It's a vehicle which has access to some pretty big guns in the form of 305s and also some 203mm backups. The major drawback of this vehicle is the simple fact that each of the major guns and even the 203s have a reload of 30 seconds. So you're going to be sat there for a long time not really doing anything apart from firing some of the smaller caliber guns. At the end of the day, it's a standard battlecruiser, has some big guns, wish it had more or a better reload, and hopefully it doesn't get hammered by some of the later cruisers. Then you got the LOSAT. This is a rank 7 event vehicle coming in for America. Basically, it's a CCVL chassis, which has a big brick on the top of it, which holds 12 ATGMs. These ATGMs have a kinetic armor-piercing core. This means that they actually penetrate quite a lot and will not have to deal with a lot of the general things that ATGMs have to deal with, such as like ERA. It should just kind of slice straight through them. It has over 700mm worth of pen on each of the missiles. The vehicle does have downsides though. You can't really move the actual turret. The only movement of the missiles is through the optics, so if you are slightly off angle or if you're slightly odd when it comes to the firing of the missiles, you'll generally fire them into the floor or into space. They do have a very large, very high muzzle velocity, which is quite nice. Also on top of it, it does get thermals and all of that good stuff, just doesn't get any scouting and also can't fire on the move, so is definitely limited. This one will cost 3, just like all the other major ones. Then you got the F100F for China. This is coming in at rank 6. It's very similar to the F100D. The major difference is that it can carry chaff and also has 2 bullpups. It does have the AIM-9Bs, it does have the AIM-9Es, it also has CCRP for its bombs. So it can also bring along a bunch of bombs, incendiaries, drag bombs, and also rockets. The other thing is it does have 2 pilots. It's a twin-seater compared to the other F100s, which are only a single. The IGN Kurama, the LOSAT, and the F100F can be obtained from the start of the event until the 23rd of October, and the Key 48 to Otsu can actually be obtained from the 16th of October until the 23rd of October. and PlayStation players and Xbox players can get this vehicle from the 9th of October until the 23rd. The reason why they're doing this is because they're all coupon vehicles, so you can sell them on the market, so they don't want people just kind of going nuts, or maybe they do want people kind of going nuts when selling the vehicles, who knows at the end of the day. These events are usually more based around the market than actual playing the game, which is very sad, but it is also a great opportunity for people to be able to get a bunch of Gaijin coin. If you're a person who is looking forward to using Gaijin coin on the sales, or even picking up premium time this year, the next set of sales is at the 1st of November, the anniversary sale, and then of course the Christmas sale, where you can get premium for half off in both. So if during this event you're able to get yourself about 40 Gaijin coin or even 20 Gaijin coin, that means that you can get premium for half a year or a year, which is pretty decent. So when it comes to actually how to grind the event, it's pretty simple. What you have is you have sets of different resources. You have resource boxes, development progress data, and factory upgrade toolkit. Now what I want you to do is completely forget about what I just said and just listen to this part, because this is the only bit that matters. You need to focus on one specific item, whether it's resource boxes or whether it's development progress data. You have to pick one of those and focus on that and the limits that it has per day, because you grind them both at the same time, basically doing the same things. So for example, for resource boxes, you gain one resource box for every 2500 earned points in battles. This is mission score. So this means that once you get 2500 mission score in a battle, you have now got a resource box. Now when it comes to the development progress data, if you grind 7500 mission score collectively over battles, so it doesn't have to be in an individual battle, and the mission score stacks over battles. So let's say you get like 5,000 in one battle, and then the next one you get 2,500. You have now got a development progress data over that time, right? So basically, for every 3 resource boxes you can get 1 development progress data. Now you need both of these things to be able to assemble the test report at the end of the day, which is just the workshop word for, you know, a token that you can either purchase or get the Key 48-2 with, or if you get 3 of them, you can get one of the major prizes with, and then you're able to put everything together, right? So you just need to either focus on how many resource boxes you're getting a day, or how many development progress data boxes you're getting a day. The way that you get either of these things is either playing ground arcade, realistic, or simulator battles this time, which is a quite nice difference, or aircraft arcade realistic and simulator battles. You can also do naval arcade and realistic. So they've added in simulator battles to be able to play and go through. Now, depending on which rank you're playing, because remember, when it comes to the vehicles that you can use, usually it's rank 3 and above. And also, on top of this, different ranks have different multipliers for how much the score actually is worth. So if you play the higher ranks of the game, you will actually get a better multiplier. So technically, you have to get less mission score in order to get all of the resource boxes and development progress data. Per day, you can get 10 development progress datas or 30 resource boxes. So if you do a quick calculation, that means if you get 75,000 mission score per day, you have maxed out that day. So that should be the aim for the day. If you do that 12 times, you have now completed everything that you can in the event and got as many resources as are available to you. This should be enough resources to be able to make 6 tickets or 6 test reports, as they're known, so you can then get 2 of the high tier event vehicles out of the 3 that are available. You can also technically, I believe, get the same one twice if you want to. I don't see anything in the rules against that, so you can technically get one for yourself and then sell one on the market later on if you feel like it. It also says resource boxes and development progress data can be earned not only on the vehicles of rank 3 or higher, but also on all event vehicles that were obtained in major game events. The vehicle cards for such vehicles contain the names of the events in which they first became available in the game. So that is stuff that rank 1 and 2 that you can also use, but understand the multipliers for them will be lower. So technically you should be doing better to be able to get these things. So those are the modes that you can play it in. Those are like the aims of the mode. What I would honestly recommend when it comes to these events, what you have to do is focus on just hitting those targets per day. So don't open any boxes until the end of the day, or even until the end of the event if you want to, just to keep track of what you are actually grinding. If you have hit your 10 development progress datas for that day, you know for a fact that you don't have to grind any more of that day. Or if you don't open any of the boxes, you know how far you have done in that day. They also have added an open all or consume all button in the last event, which I'm sure will be back this event, so everything can be open at once and easier to deal with. Also, at the same time, this kind of like cycle resets every single day. So you can get these boxes from 1200 GMT on the 26th of September until 1200 GMT on the 9th of October. And this will reset every single day. So that's how much you have to grind every day to be able to get access to these 6 tickets. Now, this event, even though they've extended it, they've technically extended it 2 days compared to previously. So they've extended it from 11 days, which was the grind before, to 13. You now have to actually get 12 full days of grinding in order to get both 6 test reports if you want to maximize the event. Previously, you only had to do 8 days of grinding out of 11. Now you have to do 12 days of grinding out of 13. So you have higher opportunity, but now you have to grind more in order to get that opportunity at a higher level than what was previously available. So just to let you know, like, all the numbers and how all of this works. Factory upgrade toolkits are not really something to worry about. They'll happen over time, and also all they do is quicken the speed of the process. They don't really do anything for the actual like building of anything. Instead, what you should focus on is the development progress data or the resource boxes, depending on which one you favor. So when it comes to the actual assembly part of the event, they have added in some new things from previously. They've added in a testing setup. Now, if you have been a veteran of these events for a long time, you'll remember the I-180 event from back in the day, where basically they gave you an I-180 and then you had to work out what was wrong with it. If you actually got it correct, then you were able to progress through the event, and also you got a little bit of a reward for it. They're doing the same thing for this event too, but instead of the I-180, they're doing the missile. So what you do after you get all of your resources, remember, I would advise doing this at the end of the day, so therefore you know how much resources you have. If you open all of the things in total, you will have enough resources for everything to put together. The way that this event is designed is you can get one of the test reports every 2 days. So if you open stuff every 2 days, then you know you will have enough parts to be able to create everything for that one test report. So when you've built everything from the assembly window, it will then give you an option to assemble a missile. Once that missile is assembled, you'll be able to test it. It actually puts you in kind of a test mission where you fly the Ki-48 to Otsu and you have to fire the missile, and then it will afterwards give you a bunch of basic, like, well, what is wrong with it? You know, you have to technically do a report for it where you click a specified thing that is wrong with the missile, and if you get it correct, you receive 3 resource boxes to help with assembling another missile, but if you answered incorrectly, you'll only receive 1 resource box, so it helps you if you get it correct. The interesting thing when it comes to it is it says you won't get a combat-ready missile on the first and on each try. You'll get defective missiles for several builds, but eventually you'll get a combat-ready missile that can only be determined in a test mission. The order of obtaining broken and combat-ready missiles is the same for all players. This means all players are on equal and pre-thought-out conditions. For successfully testing a combat-ready missile, you receive a commemorative decal so that you can remember your work in the future. And importantly, for preparing a report on a combat-ready missile, you'll earn the important Target Destruction Report. So basically, they will make you do the cycle of creating a missile over and over and over again in order for you to test them, to get them hopefully correct, and then eventually you will have a working missile. Once you get the working missile, they'll give you the Target Destruction Report. This, when you combine it with the Development Progress Report, which you get by grinding out 20 of the development progress data. Basically, you put the 20 progress data together, which is 2 days of full grinding, and then you put that together with the actual target destruction report, and then that creates a test report. Then what you do with the test report is that is, you know, basically what your that is basically what you get when it comes to like the actual token. So once you get 3 of those test reports, you can then get a major prize or 1 test report for the lower prize. That's how the whole event works. That's how everything is set up. Simple as that. So you get the resources in order to build the parts for the missile in the workshop screen. While you're getting those resources, you will also get development progress data. Once you get 20 development progress data, which is 2 full days of grinding, you can then convert that into a development progress report. When you get enough resources to build enough missiles, so you actually get a successful missile, from there you will get a target destruction report. You put together the development progress report and the target destruction report, and that creates the test report. And that means that you have 1 token out of the 6 that are available in order to purchase the vehicles with it. That's how it goes. There is some other factors such as factory upgrades. Basically what factory upgrades do at the end of the day is quicken up your factory. So the amount of time it takes to be able to open different things, and that generally is, I suppose, okay for people. It also means it should just quicken up the process, making things a little bit easier after you have done your first setup. Usually these upgrades only last for 1 go-through of the event, so they won't last for each of the test reports, but we'll see that going forward. You can also sell stuff on the market if you want. Basically, you can trade items on the Gaijin marketplace. Usually what happens is they have created a tradable container with materials, so they're making it more RNG than they have before, because they're sick of people actually being able to put these events or put these vehicles together for very low cost. They're making it harder every time for people to get the stuff that they actually want on the market, because they want the cost to go up, because they make more money from it, because they get more trades from it, especially if it's RNG. Welcome to gaming and how horrible it is right now, and how all of these events are set up. Because PlayStation and Xbox players do not have access to this, you can straight up just GE materials, so you can get access to a bunch of them, and also you can GE a typewriter, which means that you get more resources over a period of time, and therefore you can get all of the vehicles. So if you're on console, you have to pay money to get access to all 4 prizes. If you're on PC, you have to pay money to get access to all 4 prizes, and also the major amount of vehicles that you can grind out of this event is still 2. Whether you want to get a minor one and a major one, or whether you want to get 2 majors, you can still only grind out half the vehicles in this event, and that's how these events are set up. That's how everything works. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be doing a tips and tricks video tomorrow. I'll be streaming the whole event, so therefore we can do it all together. Adavi, see you later. Look after yourselves. I'd just like to thank Brendan Quinn, Vilneus, Character Fuel, Juan the Panda, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie, B. Young, Bareen, Peter Grayling, Alan Hacker, Sem Alslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R., and also Lafouche for supporting the channel.